It's 8 a.m. in the Mile High City on this Thursday, October 30th, 2025. Good morning, Denver, Colorado. You've tuned into the Jeff and Bill Show. News Talk 710, KNUS. Denver not getting the gay games in 2030. It's down to the final two, Denver and Perth. Denver just not gay enough, apparently, to host the gay games, which is surprising to me because I think Colorado's the gayest state in the nation. But I guess not enough to outbid Australia to win the 2030 gay games. Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning, Jack. You're on with Jeff and Bill.
Morning.
Good morning, guys. I just don't know if anybody listening to your show knows the origin of the word gay, and I was going to offer that.
Okay.
All right,
yeah,
go ahead.
Okay, it comes from Gertrude Stein. She had a gay partner who was Alice B. Toklas, who's famous for marijuana smoking. But anyway, she wrote a piece about these two gals that were having a wonderful time going through town, walking through the park, and every sentence included that they were having a gay time. And they skipped through the park, and they were having a gay time, and it was a gay day. And she used that word gay so many times in that piece she wrote, which may have been a play, I don't know. But that's where the word gay came from. And that's how it, and then, of course, Alice B. Toklas, that's where they were heavy on marijuana, and that's where the expression of smoking marijuana as being toking, that's where that came from.
The origins of the words. Thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I read an awful lot, probably too much.
There you go.
All right, thanks, Jack.
Informing our
Good morning.
listeners. Jack from Wyoming this morning. Give us a call. Join the conversation. 303-696-1971. Text us on the Dan Caplis Law text line at 720-819-5115. Bill, I love it when communities listen to the show and go, you know what? That's a good idea. Let's go with the ideas that come from the Jeff and Bill Show.
Oh, that's wonderful. Who's doing it now? What
the city of Denver.
Oh, good. What
Because I have often said on this program that if you just pulled random people off the street and threw them in the legislature, we'd end up with better ideas than what we currently have now down there.
Yeah.
Because who gets elected are typically just bag boys and girls for progressive special interest groups. They don't even write the bills. The bills just magically show up from the ACLU and Planned Parenthood, and they pass them right on through. So if you actually wanted real good ideas, you just randomly pick people off the street, throw them in the state legislature, it might actually work out better. Denver Gazette reporting that Denver considering commissioning civic assemblies. By next spring, Denver could be among the first major U.S. cities to commission a civic assembly if the city council moves forward with an ordinance to establish it. District 8 council member Chantel Lewis led an informational presentation to the city council policy and budget committee on Monday, discussing the concept of bringing together a representative group of residents selected at random to learn about and discuss city issues with the aim of crafting more, quote, informed recommendations, unquote. What I love about this is the politicians admitting they ain't that informed.
Yeah, I
by
was
putting
hoping
this
you were getting
together.
there. I was really, really, really hoping you were going to get there because, yeah, this is the politicians saying, yeah, you know that thing about us talking and listening to our communities, our constituents? We don't understand them, and nor are we talking to them or understanding what they want or their needs are. So we need to assemble a separate body to talk to the people we're supposed to be talking to right now. This is stupid. But I have an idea. This maybe here on the Jeff and Bill Show this morning, we are going to end up saving the Denver taxpayers a ton of money and maybe even getting the Denver metro area working better. I think there's a way that we can make all of this work much more efficiently and would work much better inside the city of Denver, but we'll get to that later this
Oh,
morning.
you got ideas, huh? Dude,
Yeah,
you came with ideas during this first hour.
Yeah, the problem is I'm only allowed one good idea a day, and that was it.
Man.
So
Dude,
this one's probably not going to be very
We got people
good.
texting. I disagree with Bill all the time, but he was right on RTD light rail that we just took the buses and put them on rails.
That's all we did. That was the problem. We took a bus, we put it on a train track. Like, it doesn't work. Doesn't work, guys. It's not how it works.
I'm excited to hear this, Mr. Thorpe.
I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying it could save some money and might make citizens of Denver Metro a little happier. And strangely enough, it might actually make the whole idea of our city legislature and even state legislature work better. It could be more efficient in getting the things done that we need it to, but I could easily be wrong.
So the Civic Assembly is a little bit like jury duty.
Yeah, good way to put it. Yeah.
And you get selected at random, and you're thrown onto these committees that have to make recommendations. So similar to, for instance, my wife's sitting on a planning commission. I think it's called like extrajudicial. I don't know, maybe something like that. She can provide recommendations. There's rules that she has to abide by, but she's appointed to it, and she can't ultimately make any decisions. It's the county commissioners that do.
That's all you're doing.
So a civic assembly is like a legislative body of everyday citizens, Lewis said. Its makeup ought to be representative of the people, and its recommendations ought to be implemented as if they were a part of a decision-making body. This is not an advisory body. This is a meaningful public participation and engagement. Lewis noted that civic assemblies tend to be flexible in their recommendations, ranging from short-term fixes to long-term solutions. So, do you think Colorado would be better managed, or Denver would be better managed, if we randomly picked people, threw them on a committee, and told them to make decisions?
Here's the better question. Tell me and explain to me how it could possibly be worse.
Yes!
How in the world could it possibly be worse if we just randomly pulled people off the street this morning and asked them to make the decisions? Tell me how they're going to do a worse job. Tell me, please explain this one to me.
Because, Bill, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Can we just, I'm going to pray. Yeah, please all join with me now in prayer.
Please. I will too.
Lord, there's a gentleman out there named Barney. And Barney is a fantastic voice who calls into the show and is hilarious and straightforward and commonsensical in his thinking. If we could put him on an advisory committee to the City Council of Denver, I would sure appreciate it. I pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Lord, hear our prayers. Please.
Could you imagine it, Barney?
Oh. If it was on Barney, we'd put it on Zoom and pay to watch.
Well, and then imagine if he didn't want to be, like jury duty. Right?
Even better.
Like you just got tossed on this thing.
Yeah.
You didn't want to be in the first place.
Yep.
Then you got to deal with politics. Oh, they'd be so good.
Oh, it'd be so good.
Oh,
He'd be
so
awesome.
Francis would be great.
Yeah, Francis would be great. We'd have, even our caller up there at the top, Jack from Wyoming. I mean, he gives it to me often, and I would love to have him give it some to the city council a little bit too. That'd be fantastic. I bet he'd be super entertaining there. Yeah, there's so many people.
Is it democracy anymore if we don't allow votes? It just becomes random. Are we a democracy anymore? Ooh. I don't know.
That's an interesting one.
We'll debate all of this and more. More importantly, we'd love to hear from you. Give us a call, 303-696-1971. Text us on the Dan Caplis Law text line, 720-819-5115. Let's put Blake on these.
Oh, that would be fun.
Community commissions.
Yeah, especially if we're deciding something to do with the Broncos Stadium. Then he has to be on that committee.
Oh, it'd be so fun.
Yeah.
Just put Blake on these. All right, now speaking of the guy, news and comment with Blake Olson.
Blake Olson.
Blake Olson, news and comment.
Yeah, I'll be on the stadium stuff, no doubt. Good morning.
Yeah.
Committees. Next hour, I'm going to play you the late great Mike Leach, who used to be a college football coach, but he had the best thing about committees. in college football. I'm going to play that for you next hour. It made me think of that. All right, 35 and sunny, expecting a high of 58, actually 56 today. News sponsored by Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning at 303-777-1234 to learn more about special savings opportunities on Lennox equipment. Our top story, 47 is ordering the Department of War to resume testing of nuclear weapons. DJT said due to the testing programs of other countries, he's instructed the department to act on an equal basis. He was pressed about that by reporters on Air Force One this morning.
We have more nuclear weapons than anybody. We don't do testing, and we've halted it many years ago. But with others doing testing, I think it's appropriate that we do also.
DJT specifically cited the nuclear programs of Russia and China. The last time the U.S. tested a nuclear weapon was in 1992. Trump's announcement coincided with his high-stakes meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping in South Korea last night, actually.
Given our different national conditions, we do not always see eye to eye with each other. And it is normal for the two leading economies of the world to have frictions now and then. And in the face of winds, waves, and challenges, you and I, at the helm of China-U.S. relations, should stay the right course and ensure the steady sailing forward of the giant ship of China-U.S. relations.
That's the interpreter, of course.
Yeah, we don't see
Xi
things the same way because one's a communist.
Right, exactly. We've got dictators over here. They actually have kings over there. It's funny to see the difference in people and representatives on each side of the table. It's a very interesting video if you haven't seen it
Now,
yet.
one of the things to pay attention to when Trump is out there talking to China and talking with Xi, internally inside of China, there is a purge going on inside of the ruling party. Xi, behind the scenes, is taking out people that he doesn't believe are loyal enough. So there is this really interesting power dynamic shift going on behind the scenes.
Yes.
So understand that any of these conversations that Trump and Xi are doing, understand that Xi's reshuffling the deck behind him as well. It's just a secondary thing to pay
Absolutely.
attention to when they're talking, and anything that comes out of Xi's mouth, understand that he is resupplying people that are more loyal to him and shoring up things in part because of, in my opinion, the trade war and some international things. But yeah, pay attention because the PAL is ousting people and bringing in new people right now. It's really interesting behind the scenes.
So many things going on. It's fascinating to me to see just the contrast between China and Japan. You know, as they sit down with Japan and everything that happened in Japan, and then this one this morning. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
and the Chinese already don't like the Japanese. So if we're cozy, the Japanese, they already don't like that. Yeah, so they're already like,
Absolutely.
Yeah, we don't like them already. Yeah.
It is interesting. 47 also says that he's made a deal with China on rare earth minerals used to make smartphones and other consumer electronics. The deal would also see tariffs on China lowered by 10%. The death toll from Hurricane Melissa is rising after leaving a trail of devastation across the Caribbean. Reports coming in say at least 25 people were killed in Haiti, at least 4 people confirmed dead in Jamaica, and 1 death has been reported in the Dominican Republic. Just in case you haven't heard, Academy District 20 has reversed course and will now allow Rampart High School senior Sophia Shoemaker to include a religious design in her reserved parking space, as Jeff and Billy talked about on Wednesday. She threatened legal action after her artwork featuring a shepherd, sheep, and a Bible verse was rejected under old district rules.
No one explained to me why religious imagery wasn't allowed. Christianity and religion is just basically my whole personality, and I just kind of felt left out.
The district has since updated its policy to permit religious messages, saying the changes ensures fairness across all schools. Some McDonald's customers paying in cash will have to pay a little more or less for their meal because pennies are no longer in production.
The federal government stopped making new 1-cent coins this year because it costs more than 1 cent to make one. Now, some areas are seeing penny shortages, and McDonald's is responding with a plan to round up or down to the nearest nickel. I'm Monica Nelson.
All right, keep that in mind today as you go through the drive-thru.
Of course they'll round up. Of course they'll round down?
Yes.
What, a corporation's going to leave money on the table?
I'm going there today,
right.
and I'm going to take a jar of pennies. This is all I have. This is it. This is it. Here you go. Nuggets played host to the Pelicans last night.
Now the Nuggets on the run. Murray's got it. Murray, tricky. Give it to Jokic, and he puts it away with authority.
All right, Chris Marlowe and Tricky with Murray going behind his back a couple of times. Great call. Nikola Jokic, another triple-double, 21, 12, and 10 ties for the best start in NBA history for Jokic, 122-88. The Nuggets are 3-1. The Blazers are in town tomorrow night. And the World Series also last night, Game 5 in L.A.
Freddie Freeman leads off.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. A dozen Ks for your Savage.
And in the process, he sets a major league record. Most strikeouts in a World Series game ever by a rookie.
Wow. Trey Yusavage, a record 12, as you just heard it. 12 strikeouts, holds the Dodgers to just 1 run. 6-1 final. Toronto leads 3-2. 33 in Arvada, 34 in Aurora, and 35 in Denver, which, as Jeff said, will not have the gay games. So which city is gayer than Denver? Jeff wants to know. Jeff and Billy continue. Blake Olson, News Talk 710 KNUS.
Cool, but sunny weather on tap for this Wednesday for Denver in the Front Range. Going to be a nice stretch of autumn weather to take us through the rest of the week, through Halloween and into the weekend. Temperatures will be 50s to near 60 degrees. Clear tonight, low to mid-30s. Mostly sunny and 50s Thursday, near 30 Thursday night. We will have a few more clouds on Halloween. Halloween, we're sideswiped by a front, but it will just produce clouds, keep us cool in the low 50s. But we're going to warm to the 60s, even some 70-degree temperatures possible this weekend. Meteorologist Don Day in the 710 KNUS Weather Center.
Welcome back to the Jeff and Bill Show. The Denver Gazette reporting Denver's considering commissioning a civic assembly. Apparently they've done this in Fort Collins around exploring the future of the former Hughes Stadium land. Basically, people via a lottery get selected to sit on this civic assembly and then get to provide guidance to the elected officials. So, Bill, there's part of me that loves this, in part because I just think that most politicians are driven by special interests.
Yeah.
They get bags of cash and they show up and do their bidding. So it would be nice to have citizens actually speaking into lawmaking in Colorado, but at the same time, I'm like, don't we have like public comment time? Don't we?
Yeah, don't y'all do
elect
town
people
halls
that
and
you're supposed to go around and talk to people? So isn't this lawmakers or city council people in Denver having somebody else do what they should be doing in the first place?
Yeah, and the best part about it is they are then free to ignore all of the recommendations. So this is just another layer of BS. That's all it is. They are adding another layer of BS to the process because now they can go, well, we listened to the committee and then we're going to go in a different direction. Where's my bag of cash? Yeah, this is dumb. And what I love is that you are absolutely crystal clear in outlining this is an admission by the city council that they don't know what their constituents want because they have to set up a separate committee to have the people that voted for them tell them what to do. Hang on. You were elected Because you said the voters spoke and told me to do X. And now you're telling us you don't know what the voters want? Are you not getting... I understand the idea of outsized voices of special interest groups, but that's part of the job. You are supposed to have to navigate that. That is part and parcel of what you signed up for. I want to remind everyone listening to the Jeff and Bill show at 8:20 in the morning, day before Halloween. Not a single damn one of those city council members was appointed by a lottery. They didn't receive a letter that says, congratulations, you're a city council member. Every single one of them threw their hat in the ring and did all the hard work to get elected to represent the people. And now they want to create a jury selection-like system to hear from the people? Who the hell were you talking about and talking to first? What were you doing?
There's a lot of redundancy here.
Come on.
Lewis says that if the civic assembly were to be implemented, close to 30,000 invitations would be sent out to community members in targeted areas. From those who respond to the invitation, 60 participants, also known as delegates, would be selected by lottery for the civic assembly. Delegates would then be given sufficient time to learn about the assigned issues, hear from subject matter experts, and engage in in-depth deliberation on the matter. Recommendations from the assembly would be created with a supermajority or 70% in agreement. Delegates would be paid a proposed living wage bill of $35 to $35.25 per hour for 50 to 55 hours of work over 3 weekends. Following the proposed timeline, the assembly would report its findings to the city council and Mayor Mike Johnston. City leadership would then act on the recommendations. However, the novel concept comes with a sizable price tag at a time when Denver's looking to conserve cash and fill a $200 million hole in the budget. Lewis estimates the cost of the civic assembly to be $350,000 to $450,000.
God, this is dumb. Okay, now, my friend, I want you to walk through, just go back to the description for us, and I want the Jeff and Bill show listeners to hear the description of what these civic assembly advisory board people are supposed to do. Now, they're sending out a whole bunch of invitations, and they're going to assemble somewhere around 60 people. And of the requirements or the expectations of the job, they are as follows. They're going to, listen to people and experts? Yeah, that whole part. What did that say there, Jeff? Just outline it. Yeah.
Civic assembly could be put together for housing, for instance. The civic assembly could, after hearing from experts, make recommendations on how to build more affordable housing in Denver in the short term, while also making recommendations on land use changes that may be needed in the future.
Yeah, so what we're saying is that
going to listen to experts.
Yeah, the civic assembly people
do some research.
Going to do some research. They're going to listen to experts and then make recommendations. We got a phone number over here, 303-696-1971. I want to have somebody tell me how that's different than what the city council's doing. Please explain that to me. Please explain to me what in that job description is appreciably different than what the city council is doing. The only thing that seems to be different is we're sending out a letter asking if you want to join rather than asking someone to go out and get votes. The only different function I can see is how you get on the civic assembly or how you get on the city council. If those people that say we were voted in and we can't or don't have time to talk to constituents, research topics, and listen to experts, leave. If we're going to do this by lottery, great. And here's my suggestion. We need to do the Monty Python approach. Years and years ago, Monty Python evidently was more of a soothsayer in the future than any of us at the time appreciated. Because out of the classic bit from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, fans will recognize the constitutional peasant. how he talks about how we are just an anarchist syndicate commune where we take turns being sort of an executive of the week. And then he outlines that most of the time we have bi-weekly meetings, and in the case of a simple majority for internal affairs, that's how things can be passed. But we need a 2/3 majority in case of more, and that's where he's cut off by King Arthur. So the idea being that Monty Python said, we're just going to get random citizens. Someone's going to be appointed by lottery once a week, and then we'll all get together and we'll do this vote, which is strikingly similar to what this civic assembly thing is. So the solution for the Denver City Council right now for their job is to do the Monty Python constitutional peasant approach. They are taking a bit from a comedy movie decades ago as their freaking solution. These people are out of ideas and obviously can't do their job. They need to resign. I'm not talking about you guys voting them out. I don't go right ahead, vote whatever you want. I'm talking directly to Denver City Council members. I'm sorry, this is Bill Thorpe speaking. You suck. You can't do your job. You should resign by the end of the day. If you're still in office after Halloween, you're stupid because you all have just publicly announced you aren't going to do the research. You aren't going to talk to the constituents, and you aren't going to talk to the experts because you're getting somebody else to do it for you. What are you good for? Get out. Get out.
To give context, it'd be like Bill and I hiring somebody to read the news and then comment on a radio show about it, which is essentially what we do. 0459 texting in, the Civics Assembly group would be given time to educate themselves on issues. I just heard one of Denver City Council members once again reference the flock cameras as a privacy violation. If I was on this assembly, it seems I would have to be educating them rather than the other way around. Yeah, yes. They're already proving they can't educate themselves.
Now, here's the thing.
So we're going to pay other people to educate themselves. Oh, and I'm guessing, Bill. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
That the city council is not going to take a pay cut in light of this.
Oh, God, no. Because this is the bonus. They've got somebody else to do their job. Somebody else they can say, they can blame. That's the other best part about it, is it gives them a layer of blame and bureaucracy. But here's the thing is, think about it this way. If we would eliminate the Denver City Council and just go with the Civic Assembly Board, we're looking at 3 weekends. That's it. How much damage can you possibly do?
Probably better decision making.
Yes, because you know what? They're giving up their Saturdays and Sundays. Who is going to sit down going, oh, great, lots of meetings, and they want to spend the entire day doing their debating it? No. Shut up. Let's vote. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's go home. That's it.
See, right there is why the Civic Assembly would be brilliant.
Yes, that's why
it would
work.
be filled with actual regular people.
People that would want to go home. Yes, and they would get things done because of it. Because the sooner we vote yes or no, the sooner we're out of this damn thing. And let's go. Let's go. Move this along, people. Yeah.
All right, join the conversation. Would you be a part of the Civic Assembly? And what kind of changes would you make if by lottery, all of a sudden, they put you on the Civic Assembly in the city of Denver? Here's the phone number, 303-696-1971. Text us on the Dan Caplis Law text line, 720-819-5115. Bill, I'm just thinking, like they put guys like you and me on there, we'd bring brilliant ideas like Taco Tuesday.
Oh, absolutely.
To Denver.
That'd be fantastic.
Margaritas.
Yes. That slide that we're talking about, so you can see all the homeless people. You know, I mean, we can make it. There's a ton of things we can do.
The city of Denver would be so much better. So there's an element of this that I love, and there's an element of ridiculousness that only a well-paid city council member in the city of Denver is going to go, can somebody else do my job for me?
Yeah, they were looking at that silly birthday bridge down across the Capitol.
Right.
Jeff and Bill, we are setting up the Alpine Slide. You're going to have an Alpine Slide. You can go from the Capitol all the way down to Civic Center Park. We're making this thing fun.
Paid for by Donald Trump.
Yes, exactly. And McDonald's. We'll get sponsorships.
Discover incredible savings at the Mountain High Appliance Clearance Center in Denver. Jeff Hunt here for my friends at the Mountain High Appliance Center. Their clearance center offers a huge selection of ranges, refrigerators, washer, dryers, and more. Save up to 60% on open box, scratch, and dent display models and overstocked appliances from Bosch, Thermador, KitchenAid, and many more. When you're looking for great deals on appliances, think Mountain High Appliance Clearance Center for the best prices and selection. Here's their address, 601 East 64th Avenue in Denver. 601 East 64th Avenue in Denver. All right, Phone lines starting to light up. We'll get to them. You're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show.
And remember, just like in the movie, Dennis said, well, you can't expect to wield supreme executive power just because some watery tart threw a sword at you. This is 710 KNUS.
Welcome back to the Jeff and Bill Show. The city of Denver considering the civic assembly, which basically means like jury duty. You're put on this assembly that provides recommendations to the city council. Your job is to do research, listen to the experts, and then help make decisions, which surprisingly sounds like the job of a city council member. Oh, and by the way, they're going to spend about $400,000 to pay people to do this. This is a good idea in the sense that at least average people are making better decisions than elected nitwits. Or is this just city council members trying to get out of what should be their job? They're not taking a pay cut, by the way, to do this. Let's go to the phone lines. Frank in Evergreen. Good morning, Frank. You're on with Jeff and Bill.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. I hate it when I agree with Billy.
Oh, that's a bad morning.
Yeah, you're probably going to lose some listeners now because of it. So here's the thing. This just demonstrates how incredibly lame the Democrat nitwits are. They have no leadership skills. They have basically they've lost all their brain cells. They have no idea what they're doing. But you know what? People keep electing them, and to your point about the RTD issue, it's just absurd we're even talking about it. What they really need to do, I'm going to take the Billy line now since Billy is now a conservative today. So I think what we should do as Billy is I think we need to mount flying pigs on top of all the buses and trains so they run more efficiently, because we do have unlimited taxpayer dollars to spend on stuff like that. And I don't know why people don't recognize that we just need more taxes. We just need to take more money from the people who work for a living. So anyway, I do have one other thing I do disagree with Billy on, if you want to hear that.
Yeah, please. That's always fun.
It was earlier in the week you were trying to draw some parity between you always look for balance, and I get that. I understand it. I used to be that way myself. You look for balance between the two sides, and it just doesn't exist in the media. When you look at trying to get balance between the liberal media and the conservative media of today, there is none. The liberal media protected, one example, liberal media protected the President of the United States for 4 years. There was not one single outlet that went against it. They all lined up in line and protected.
Okay, hang on, Frank. I want to have a little bit of clarity on this. Tell me what you mean by balance in the media.
Well, I think like I said, I used to be like you in that regard, where you hear a story on one side, then you hear a story on the other side from liberal versus conservative, Democrat versus Republican, et cetera, and you try to draw some kind of parity between, what the liberals said versus Democrats said, and they both have value, they both have merit, but they don't. The liberal media does not have any merit today. They have been, and the average person recognizes that, and that's why people like Trump are in power.
Now, Frank, hang on though. But remember, Donald Trump got less than 50% of eligible voters. Yes, he did win the popular vote, but he didn't get more than 50% of the voting population. That's an issue. So the idea that you're saying, I know, but hang on a sec, Frank. What you're saying, you said the average person recognizes this, and that's why Donald Trump's in power. What I'm telling you is that it's not that the average person, you're making this generalization and you're saying that all of the people, because I used to believe like Bill did, now I believe this, and all of the people agree with me. I disagree with that bromide. That's kind of what you set up.
Well, no, I didn't say all the people, by the way.
But you said most of the people, and I disagree with that. It's not most.
I didn't say most. I never used the word most. I said he's in power now for whatever reason.
No, but it was how you described the group of people that supported him. But that's okay. Go ahead.
But I don't know what to even say about what you just said. I think my statement stands as it is. But here's one.
No, I disagree with that. That's okay. Go ahead.
Here's a perfect example on MSN this morning. Can I read just a brief couple sentences from a quote from MSN real quickly?
Sure, go right ahead.
Okay. military leaders have voiced concerns over Department of Defense. Well, sorry, it's Department of War now.
Actually, it isn't, but that's
Pete
okay.
Hegseth.
It's not. And Frank, it's not. Frank, it's not the Department of War. They just changed the nickname. In order to change the name into Department of War, it has to go through Congress.
Okay, so MSN chose to take one line, whereas everybody else is taking 9. Okay,
yeah,
fine.
That's fine. They can do, and they can name it whatever they want.
Strategy. Okay, which prioritizes domestic security over international commitments to allies like China and Russia. Allies like China and Russia. They warn the shift could threaten both national and international security. Retired General Dan Kane and others, senior officials, criticized the national defense strategy focus on homeland threats, warning it could affect military readiness. It's absurd. This is MSN. This is one of the major liberal outlets.
Yeah,
and they don't even
Frank,
know that China and Russia are not our allies.
That's absolutely awful. And yet, just within the last 48 hours, Fox News, the top of their page and on the scroll and even on TV, was running things about James Comer and what he uncovered and how all of Biden's auto pen pardons would be invalid. And that is not true. There is no functional mechanism to invalidate Biden's pardon based on an auto pen. Not a single thing. But Fox News ran a top-of-the-page story, and they had segments on their broadcast over something that functionally cannot happen.
Well, there's a lot of things that people say can't happen that are happening right now, like a trade deal with China. Did that happen, or did I miss something?
So far, wait, Frank, so far we have no details. We've had a rollout of concepts of a plan and concepts of what could happen, but it's changed several times. Until we see pen to paper, we don't have a deal. I'm not saying that Donald Trump isn't negotiating one. I'm not saying he doesn't have a framework and the capabilities to get it done. Until we see the pen on paper, nothing's done. And you know that as well as I do.
We stopped immigration across our southern border. Did that not happen?
Oh, no, that happened. Yeah, that's great. And it's been wonderful. And I have been very open about that success.
That couldn't happen. That was something that I was told for 50 years could not happen by both sides. It happened. Now we're blowing up Venezuelan drug boats coming across the Caribbean. Did that not happen?
Oh, it's happening. But Frank, there's a question about whether or not that's legal. It's not a matter of what happens. It's a matter of what's legal, Frank. And thanks for the phone call. I appreciate that. But just like with your example of MSN, I can bring an example on the other side. And what you're looking at is you're asking me for parity as far as is all of the reporting balanced? No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is journalism sucks. And the responsibility of the journalist is to listen to both sides and then tell you what's actually happening.
What do you think of Bari Weiss and what she's doing at CBS?
Oh, I have a lot of problems with that.
And it's not problems?
Oh, huge problems with that. And it's not because of her politics at all.
What do you have problems with?
It's because of where she came from. And what I mean,
New York Times?
No.
The Free Press?
No. The opinion pages. That's where I have an issue, is you have taken someone whose experience through the media has been about opinions, and she's looking for a diversity of voices. In fact, when she was hired by the New York Times, she talked about herself being a diversity hire. What I'm worried about is you are taking someone who has made their career on opinion and telling them now to be in charge of the news. That worries me. That to me says we have the potential to get more into advocacy journalism rather than away from it. I'm not talking about politics.
You don't think CBS was into advocacy journalism?
Hang on. What I'm saying is lean into it more. What I'm saying is what I'm worried about is this is supposed to be, Bari Weiss was sold to me as this is the corrective measure inside of CBS for their advocacy journalism.
Yeah.
Yet her entire career is based on advocacy.
But do you think the Free Press is that? I actually have found the Free Press to be quite entertaining.
Entertaining
and interesting. Like good articles. We've had a number of guests on our show from people from the Free Press. Like, for instance, libraries. Like, I thought that was fascinating. Like, libraries are doing too much and taking on too many things that they're actually ignoring their core functions. Like, that was something that I found pretty intriguing that came from the Free Press.
I'm not saying that the Free Press doesn't have intriguing and entertaining articles at times. What I'm saying is her filter, what she's looking for, her bread and butter is based on the opinion side of things. And I'm worried when someone who has made their bones in the opinion side of things, and Free Press did a whole bunch of opinion. It wasn't just straight reporting. And that's what I'm worried about, is how does someone who has made their bones in the opinion side of things, how does that then translate into someone on the news side? Because my guess is you lean more into the advocacy journalism. What I'm working at is it may be that CBS may not be as advocate focused on being liberal, but if they go more to the right, but they're still advocating more, that's not better. You may like it more, but that, for me, that's not better. And so I'm not saying that she's going to fail. I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm just saying I have concerns because she's an opinion person that is now in charge of the news.
Yeah,
I have
but
questions.
What we also said about the city council down in Denver could apply here as well. Could it possibly get worse?
Yeah, that's it too. Yeah, could it possibly get worse? And that's what I'm worried about, is that it does this become more advocacy. And she could totally not do this at all. Again, I'm not saying she's going to. I'm just saying this is what I'm worried about. And so people can like it, dislike it. I'm just saying on the news side, I'm worried that she's going to view the news more through the opinion lens, because that's where she came up, and she's going to be looking for things she wanted through the opinion and editorial pages to be then replicated on the news pages. Not as far as the idea of necessarily taking opinion editors and making them reporters, but taking the reporters and making them more an advocates. And that's what I'm worried about. But she could absolutely be absolutely straight news and get them back to the front and center. That'd be great. That'd be wonderful.
Join the conversation. The original conversation was Denver considering commissioning a civic assembly, essentially a jury selection operation for city council decisions.
Yeah, which again, if you listen to the show earlier, all the things the civic assembly would do is stuff the city council is supposed to do. Yeah, they're supposed to listen to constituents, do the research, and talk to experts.
Now, we did mention that Fort Collins had tried this. Here's an opinion piece in the Colorado Sun regarding this. Fort Collins tried a new kind of democracy, and it worked. Faced with years-long polarization, the city turned to civic assembly, where residents formed common ground in just 2 weekends.
Yeah, exactly. So, in other words, Denver City Council, resign. You should not be in your offices by the end of Friday. Let's do the civic assembly thing, see how it works out for the city. And if it's better, maybe Monty Python had a good idea and we all should become Dennis the Constitutional Peasant. Maybe.
Love
Maybe
to hear from you.
right.
Give us a call, 303-696-1971. Text us on the Dan Caplis Law text line at 720-819-5115. You're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's talk leader. Soon we will see the violence inherent in the system. Come see the violence inherent in the system. This is 710 KNUS. Thanks, Monty Python fans.
Welcome back to the Jeff and Bill Show. The Denver City Council considering commissioning a civic assembly, basically like a jury selection operation for city council. Gabe texting in. I think they make like $100,000 a year, don't they, sitting on the city council? I'll take that job. That's a lot of money.
Oh, heck yeah.
And then now we're going to take taxpayer dollars and pay other people to do what should be done by city council to begin in the first place.
You add a layer of bureaucracy for the city advisory council to do what the actual city council should be doing, and then remember the city council is like, all these special interest groups always talking to us, an outsized voice. Oh, so now they're going to free up their time to just talk to the special interest groups, and whoever writes the biggest check, they then can ignore the civic assembly.
Bill, could you imagine they're supposed to meet on weekends? You getting the notice that you've been selected to spend your weekends listening to presentations on affordable housing.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, if the meeting started at 8, my goal would be we are out of there by 9. I do not care.
That's why maybe it worked at Fort Collins.
Exactly.
We lost Gary.
I know, we lost Gary. That sucks. But Gary can call back. Yeah. Gary listened to the meeting. The thing is, they outline everything the city council should be doing for this civic assembly. And then it's randomly selected. And they said, it's just a lottery. And we're going to reach out to all these people and pay them, decent money to do it on the weekends and give up their weekend. Maybe, how about this? Maybe being on the Denver City Council should just be that kind of a weekend job. Yeah. And just that's the only time they can meet, and just give up all your weekends and then see how quickly you can get this stuff done too. Because if it's good enough for the Civic Assembly, it's good enough for you. Maybe you guys stop all the evening meetings, everything else. No, let's just make it easier for you. But only pay you by the hour. Then that's it too. And there's going to only be 50 hours. You're only allowed 50 hours. That's it. That's all you're allowed. Get everything done. If you can't, too bad. So sad. The city council should resign.
Denver City Council members make $110,000 a year.
What?
City Council president earns $123,000.
Oh, good Lord.
And then, in addition to your salaries, each council member receives approximately $264,000 annually to operate their offices, covering staff salaries and office expenses.
Yeah, I tell you what, we could save.
So you're north of $370.
Yeah.
Per
here's
office.
The thing, though, is eliminate that staff office thingy stuff. Just eliminate those, and just to try it for 2 years. Let's go ahead and just do a lottery. And then every 3 months, we get that civic assembly board together, and they give up 3 weekends, but it's every 3 months, and we can decide about what that's going to be. So it's 3 weekends per quarter, and that's all the decisions you're allowed to make. That's it. Then that's all the time you get. And so that's... let's see how this works out. We could immediately save all that money based on the offices, cut that out, and it's not going to cost us $110,000 per person sitting on that thing, so as we are for the council members. We're going to save money already. We're saving money inside Denver, and probably going to make it work better. Look at the solutions we need to do. Look at how smart we are this morning.
We're actually solving problems, including RTDs.
Yeah. First, figured out the problem with RTDs. Now we're figuring out the Denver City Council is completely and totally worthless thanks to a proposal they floated. This is not Jeff and Bill sitting here saying, God, you guys are worthless. How about you do this? This is your idea. This is your idea where you outlined that you're worthless. We just want to say, yes, we agree.
All right, Bill, next hour, I want to get into this. Donald Trump saying that the United States is going to re-engage with nuclear weapons testing on an equal basis with some of the other countries. What does this mean? Could we see mushroom clouds on the horizon? He does have his hand on the red button. This is going to be an interesting conversation. Do you want to see the United States back into nuclear domination of the world?
Good thing is when he pushes the red button, someone arrives with a Diet Coke. So not as dangerous as some of the other
That's the current
things.
Red button.
Yeah, just saying it's one. Yeah.
Do you think it's time for the United States to send a message to Russia and China about who really is the nuclear daddy in the family?
Yeah, no. I don't, but this will be a fun conversation.
I like the idea of strength and bringing back some of these nuclear tests. I think it's a little intimidating. And by the way, he sent that right before he met with President Xi Jinping of China. Throw them off a little bit? Intimidate them a little bit? What do you think? Would love to hear from you. Join the conversation. Give us a call at 303-696-1971. Text us at 720-819-5115. You're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's talk leader, News Talk 710, KNU.